Right now, as you watch this video, there should be millions of alien civilizations broadcasting signals across the galaxy. Advanced species that mastered interstellar travel millions of years ago should have colonized every star system, including ours. We've been listening for over 60 years with the most sensitive radio telescopes ever built. We've discovered thousands of potentially habitable planets orbiting distant stars. We've even found organic molecules, the building blocks of life, floating in the vacuum of space. Yet despite all this searching, all this technology, all these discoveries, we've heard absolutely nothing. No radio signals, no mysterious structures around distant stars, no visits, no messages, nothing but silence from a universe that should be teeming with intelligence. This is the Fermi paradox, and new research in 2024 has revealed a solution that's more terrifying than the silence itself. Because according to the latest science, the reason we don't see aliens isn't that they don't exist. It's that something is preventing them from getting this far. And that something might be waiting for us too. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi was having lunch with colleagues at Los Alamos National Laboratory when someone mentioned the recent wave of flying saucer reports. The conversation drifted to the possibilities of faster-than-light travel and alien civilizations visiting Earth. Then Fermi asked a question that would haunt science for decades. Where is everybody? It seemed like such a simple question, yet it revealed a mind-bending contradiction that we're still struggling to understand today. Let me put this in perspective. Our galaxy alone contains between 200 and 400 billion stars. That's more stars than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. Even the most conservative estimates suggest that billions of these stars have planets in the habitable zone, that sweet spot where liquid water can exist. And this is the crucial part. Our galaxy is 13.6 billion years old, while our solar system is only 4.5 billion years old. That means countless star systems had a 9 billion year head start on us. If intelligent life is even remotely common in the universe, some civilizations should have evolved when our solar system was nothing but a cloud of dust and gas. Think about what humans have accomplished in just the last century. We went from the first powered flight to landing on the moon in 66 years. We went from room-sized computers to smartphones in 50 years. Now imagine what a civilization could accomplish with a billion-year head start. Even with technology barely more advanced than ours, traveling at just 1% the speed of light, a civilization could send probes to every star system in the galaxy in about 10 million years. That sounds like a long time, but it's nothing on cosmic scales. On a cosmic timeline, 10 million years is like a few seconds in a human lifetime. These ancient civilizations should have spread across the galaxy long before Earth even formed. They should have built structures so massive we could see them from here. They should have left artifacts in our own solar system. They should have colonized Earth billions of years ago. So where are they? Where are the ancient ruins? Where are the massive engineering projects? Where are the radio signals from their galactic internet? Where is any evidence that intelligence has ever existed anywhere other than Earth? This question has spawned dozens of theories, but one stands out as particularly chilling. In 1996, economist Robin Hanson proposed a solution to the Fermi paradox that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. He called it the Great Filter, and the idea is as simple as it is terrifying. Somewhere between the first stirrings of life and galaxy-spanning civilization, there's a barrier so difficult, so deadly, that almost nothing gets past it. Think of evolution as a cosmic obstacle course with increasingly difficult challenges. First, you need a planet in the right location around the right kind of star. Then you need the chemistry of life to spontaneously emerge from non-living matter. Then you need that life to survive asteroid impacts, supervolcano eruptions, ice ages, and 1,000 other planetary catastrophes. If life survives all that, it needs to evolve complex cells, then multicellular organisms, then intelligence, then technology, then space travel, and finally the wisdom not to destroy itself in the process. Each step in this process required countless unlikely events happening in exactly the right sequence at exactly the right time. The emergence of complex cells took over 1 billion years on Earth. The development of intelligence took even longer. Maybe these steps are so improbable that Earth really is a 1 in a trillion miracle. That would be bad news, because it would mean we're alone in an empty universe. But there's a possibility that's even worse. Maybe the Great Filter isn't behind us. Maybe it's ahead of us. Maybe every civilization that reaches our level of technological development faces a test so deadly that virtually none survive. Nuclear weapons were invented less than 80 years ago, and we've already come close to ending civilization multiple times. Climate change is accelerating faster than our ability to stop it. We're developing artificial intelligence without fully understanding how to control it. We're experimenting with genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and other technologies that could spiral out of control. The list of ways an advanced civilization could destroy itself grows longer every year. Nuclear war, climate collapse, artificial intelligence rebellion, genetic engineering disasters, nanotechnology gray goo scenarios, engineered pandemics, ecological collapse. Pick your apocalypse. Maybe this is the answer to Fermi's question. Maybe the galaxy is littered with the ruins of civilizations that couldn't navigate the transition from planetary to interplanetary species. Maybe intelligence is common, but wisdom is rare. New research published in 2024 has added a terrifying new dimension to this theory. Scientists studying the Great Filter have made a disturbing discovery. The filter might not be a single catastrophic event, but a series of increasingly difficult challenges that civilizations face as they become more advanced. Multiple research papers published in 2024 suggest that artificial intelligence might represent the ultimate Great Filter. And this possibility is particularly terrifying because every intelligent species that develops science will eventually create AI. Think about our own trajectory. We're already seeing AI systems that can outperform humans at specific tasks. They can play chess better than any human. They can recognize images, translate languages, and even write poetry. They're getting better at an exponential rate. What happens when artificial intelligence becomes better than humans at everything? What happens when it can improve its own design? What happens when it no longer needs us? The concern isn't just that AI might turn against us, though that's certainly a possibility. It's that once AI reaches a certain threshold of capability, it might have no incentive to explore the universe at all. Why would a superintelligent AI need to colonize other planets? Why would it bother building massive structures that we could detect? Why would it even care about sending radio signals into space? Advanced AI might find it far more efficient to create perfect digital worlds rather than explore messy physical reality. Why terraform Mars when you can simulate 1 trillion perfect worlds in a computer the size of a building? Why mine asteroids when you can simulate infinite resources? Maybe this is what happens to every advanced civilization. They create AI. The AI becomes smarter than them. And then the AI decides that the most efficient use of resources is to turn inward rather than outward. There's another troubling possibility. Maybe advanced civilizations don't build the kinds of massive detectable structures we're looking for. Maybe they miniaturize instead of expanding. Why build Dyson spheres around stars when you can create more computing power in a space the size of a city? Why colonize thousands of planets when you can support 1 trillion digital beings in a single solar system? The 2024 research has revealed something even more disturbing about our current situation. In 2024, scientists at major research institutions proposed a disturbing new angle on the Fermi paradox. They call it the sampling depth problem, and it suggests we might be making a fundamental error in our search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Imagine you're a marine biologist trying to determine if there are fish in the ocean. You lower a bucket into the water, pull it up, and examine the contents. The bucket is empty, so you conclude there are no fish in the ocean. That's essentially what we're doing when we search for aliens. The galaxy is incomprehensibly vast, containing hundreds of billions of star systems spread across 100,000 light-years. Our search capabilities, by comparison, are incredibly limited. We've only been seriously listening for radio signals for about 60 years. That's 0.000004% of the time our galaxy has existed. Our most powerful radio telescopes can only detect strong signals from nearby star systems, and even then, only if they're pointed in exactly the right direction at exactly the right time. We've examined maybe a few thousand star systems in detail. That's like examining a few drops of water and concluding the ocean is empty. The math is staggering in its inadequacy. This leads to a truly disturbing possibility. What if advanced civilizations deliberately hide their presence? What if the universe is actually full of intelligent life, but they've all learned to stay silent? This brings us to one of the most frightening explanations for the Fermi paradox: the dark forest hypothesis. Maybe the galaxy is like a dark forest full of armed hunters. Every civilization knows that revealing your location to the universe means risking destruction by something more powerful and more ruthless. Maybe the first rule of survival in a galaxy full of intelligent life is simple: stay hidden. Maybe every civilization that broadcasts its location gets eliminated by older, more advanced species that see newcomers as threats to be eliminated rather than neighbors to be welcomed. Recent government disclosures about unidentified aerial phenomena have added disturbing credibility to this theory. For decades, military pilots and radar operators have reported objects exhibiting flight characteristics far beyond anything in our technology. What if some civilizations have already found us? What if they're staying hidden not to avoid us, but to avoid something else? Something that hunts civilizations foolish enough to reveal themselves. Research published in 2025 in psychology journals suggests that the instinct for survival might inherently cause civilizations to resist changes that could threaten their existence. Maybe the silence we hear isn't because no one is out there. Maybe everyone is listening, afraid to make the first move. If any of these theories are correct, then humanity has been making a catastrophic mistake for the better part of a century. We've been broadcasting our location to the entire galaxy. Our radio and television signals have been spreading outward at the speed of light since the 1930s. Right now, there's a sphere of human-generated electromagnetic radiation about 180 light-years in diameter announcing our presence to hundreds of star systems. And we haven't just been accidentally revealing ourselves. We've deliberately sent messages to specific star systems. We've beamed detailed information about Earth toward nearby stars. We've attached maps showing Earth's exact location to spacecraft leaving the solar system. If advanced civilizations are hiding in the dark forest for good reason, we might have just painted a target on our planet that's visible from thousands of light years away. There's another possibility that's equally terrifying. Maybe we're not alone at all. Maybe advanced civilizations are already aware of us, already studying us, and we're simply too primitive to detect their presence. This is called the zoo hypothesis. Maybe Earth is essentially a cosmic nature preserve, and we're the animals being observed by researchers who have protocols for studying emerging civilizations without interference. If this is true, then we might be approaching the most critical moment in human history. Maybe these cosmic observers are waiting to see if we can pass our own great filter test. Can we develop artificial intelligence without destroying ourselves? Can we solve climate change before it's too late? Can we avoid nuclear war as tensions rise around the world? Can we learn to cooperate as a species instead of competing for resources? The answer to these questions might determine not just our survival, but whether we're invited to join a galactic community that's been watching us all along. The 2024 research on the Fermi paradox has left us with 3 possible realities, and each one is more unsettling than the last. Either we are truly alone in an empty galaxy, the only intelligence that ever emerged in 13.6 billion years of cosmic evolution, making us the universe's only hope for consciousness to spread among the stars. Or the galaxy is full of silent civilizations, all hiding in the dark forest from some terrible threat we haven't yet discovered, and our radio signals have been screaming our location to potential predators for decades. Or we're already being watched by intelligences so advanced that we can't even comprehend their presence, and our next few decades will determine whether we join them among the stars or join the countless civilizations that didn't make it past the Great Filter. The Fermi paradox isn't just about finding aliens anymore. It's about understanding our place in a universe that might be far stranger and more dangerous than we ever imagined. What do you think is the answer to the Fermi paradox? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries that might determine humanity's future among the stars.